team, Pickup Studio Live 2020 GSL Season 3 Codex Last Stand.
We're back, and it's time for the winner's match. Stats versus Maru is up next. Who's going to be the next player to advance into the round of 8? I don't know. I mean, I think Maru, but I don't think that the Stats ByuN game really showed us how strong Stats can be. I think ByuN really floundered in that series.
A little bit.
So let's see. I mean, Stats, again, the most conservative of Protoss players. Maru bending time and space in his games.
Yeah. Maru looks just, you can tell he's just the best player in the world again right now.
Yeah.
There was a little period in there where he kind of stopped doing that, but he is ridiculous tonight. But the thing is, I think Stats looks awesome too. This is just very hard to predict.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Very hard to predict.
Ice
like,
and Chrome,
based on their games so far tonight, these two advance.
Yeah, well, they definitely look a lot better, but I think Partying is a real threat here, too.
Yeah.
Game 1 is ready. Stats versus Maru starts now.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께 있다. 우린 더욱 강하다. 아프리카 프린스 스탠치 김대희. 지니어 클리스 마루 조성주.
You know, the more I think about it, I'm going to keep my original prediction on Stats advancing here because, like, Maru was so overwhelmingly good looking in that last series that it's kind of like biasing me, but it's making me think like, well, damn, is anyone going to be able to actually stop him?
Well, he was actually terrifying.
He was terrifying, but Stats is going to take a fraction of the damage that Parting took in the early game.
Yeah, well,
because that is where he is super strong, and that is where Parting is super weak, actually.
Yeah.
Parting's weak in the very early game to heavy harassment, and that's like, literally that's what Stats is good at. It's like, when he hits players that want to keep trying to drop him and stuff, that's when he just wins.
Right.
So, yeah, I do think Stats is going to be able to advance.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how Stats handles the aggression from Maru. Because, you know, Stats, if you guys have seen a lot of his past games, you know, he plays Protoss in one of the ways that, like, a lot of players tend to not go. It's a little bit harder to do. He kind of just defends everything and takes a lead. And once he's swatted down all of your drops and your attacks and your harass, then he pushes and usually wins. He just gets a better unit composition in the end. And, you know, there's a lot of ways to play Protoss. It's one of the interesting things about the race. The race is, there's just a lot of different directions you can take it.
Yeah.
In part because of, you know, the way that you produce things, you warp stuff in. The tech trees themselves sort of lend themselves to pretty dramatic different types of games.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm curious. The problem is that Maru is so good at doing what he does.
Yeah.
And I feel like defending all of Maru's stuff and then winning the game is one of the hardest things you could ever imagine doing, right?
Also, certainly it is.
Also, I think what Maru did do in Game 2, I don't think we're going to see it again. It seemed like something that wasn't going to work, nuclear army or not.
Oh, yeah.
It just...
Well, I don't think Stats' endgame will even look like that.
I don't think so either, yeah.
But
unless we're you know, going to be seeing the meta develop right here on the show.
I mean, it could. I guess we'll see. But let's see if he starts Blinker. Is he going to get a DT Shrine? Is that what we're going to see?
Yeah, maybe he wants to mix it up.
Oh, no, I think it's still going to be Blink.
I want to say something like 80% or more of Stats' games are just him sort of playing defensive.
There's the Blink.
That's
as expected. So Stats is not playing the same way he played against ByuN. Against ByuN, he got the Phoenixes out. This almost kind of makes sense that he's going for Blink, and I think he'll go Colossus Tech into third base. Like, he'll make the Robo Support and then make the third Nexus. Let's just see if he does that in a second here.
So this is...
Be quiet, I'm staring at that production tab, I want to see.
He's going to back up a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of defending.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
And now I think what he'll do is get a warping around, move out to the third, take it.
Yeah, and this is what a lot of PVTs basically look like, is the Protoss, it's two parts. Protoss is ready to grab Medivacs and kill them, and kill mines, in the hopes that Terran basically feeds into, I know this is like a MOBA term, but it does apply here, they're feeding you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're attacking it and you're not doing any damage and they're just killing stuff off, you're just getting ahead. You're getting bigger, they're actually losing units. And you want to do that while taking a third, and it's easier said than done. 3 bases with just a few Stalkers and Blink is not an easy thing to manage, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he took it, you know, very carefully. Like he did wait for that next warp in and everything. Colossus Tech before the third base starts, right? That's a big difference. But you know, the reason why I thought he would do this is because he just saw Parting do it, and it actually got Parting against Maru into late game.
That's very true.
So if it gets Parting into late game, it gets Stats into late game. So Stats right here, because he's already seen this against Maru multiple times, he's basically looking at it and saying, okay, let's just get into that late game. And I think Stats is going to play the late game nicely and cleanly. I'm liking it, man. I think his approach here is on point. Again,
it's so fun to have a day where we're pretty much only dealing with one matchup, because you really get to deep dive and explore the ins and outs and how it functions. So we have Thermal Lance about halfway done. Terran still massing up here back at home. Right now, Stats really not doing anything to try to interfere with Maru. So both these guys kind of playing into their roles.
Well, you can't really do anything.
Well, it's also interesting to see Maru pretty much didn't engage with Stats at all. I mean, we saw like a Hellion run in there to scout, but he didn't drop him. He didn't, and I think part of that is actually him respecting the defense that Stats has, where it's like, well, why would I even bother doing that if he's probably just going to
100%
kill me? You
100%. And that's actually somewhere where we are generally very critical on players when they don't take into account each other's styles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's something that in the past, before the military, we were really critical about ByuN on, right? Because he would just like attack into the most defensive players anyways.
Right.
And it's like there's something to be said for playing your own style and trying to dictate the game in that way. But honestly, just trying to do like drops and stuff against Stats, this is what he is good at. So Maru is waiting for a slightly bigger push, which that is how you need to play against him.
This is a two-base timing push. This is meant to...
It's strong.
To wreck.
Yeah.
Now, what Protoss always does here is the Colossi come out into the middle of the map so that they can bait out the disables. You force field, you run, and then your third base is saved.
That is exactly what he's trying to do here. But however, Maru is not biting.
Yeah.
But you know what? If he doesn't bite, then Stats gets additional damage on the army, right?
Yeah, is it going to be enough, though? I don't know, man. Look at this. He's leapfrogging the tanks like crazy. And he actually just slips right through. Okay.
This is such a delicate dance on both sides.
Yeah. This is
very good.
Going to be rough. All right, here we go. Oh,
man.
Hold on, hold on. There's still so much damage being dealt over here.
There is, but he's got that overcharge.
Oh, my God.
God.
Wait a minute. Is Stats going to actually be able to save his third, though? The thing is, he lost all his SCVs, but there's a chance Terran just straight up kills him.
Oh my God, that disruptor hit. Oh my, this is just madness. So much damage on both sides
This
right
actually
now.
could be fatal, though, for Stats, despite having no workers back at home.
Oh my God, but another disruptor coming forward. He still has a singular Colossus alive. The Zealot's still ravaging absolutely everything. Maru has to basically win with what he's got over here.
Yeah, the Terran cannot reinforce over here. Again, one disruptor in the game. Probes being pulled. Tanks very low on HP.
Oh, and that disruptor shot does not do it. Maru's push looking so strong here. Another round of Zealots come out from Stats.
Oh my God, he's gonna get through. He takes the disruptor out. It's just gonna be some gateway warpments coming in here. 2 more tanks still in the fight. A Viking, 2 medevacs, some Marines, and a Marauder. If he can get up there and unpower the pylons, oh my God, there's just literally nothing producing back at home. 2 pylons, no, actually a little bit more, excuse me, just north of our screenshot here.
Yeah, unpowering a few of these gates, definitely a very powerful move there from Maru. He needs to stop some of these warp-ins. Don't forget the third base was not killed. Now he's warped in units down there and is going to do a flank. 2 Archons and a Charge Hawk coming forward. He actually blinks the Stalkers over to pick off the Siege Tanks. He forces Maru out. Oh my God, in the meantime, he kills everything over there.
Oh, man. That was crazy. That was the game. Whoa. We didn't know who was going to win until the last few seconds. Stats does it. Maru, the harass turned into basically a corroded Terran main. He could not produce. The Archons were actually the saving grace of that. There was spare gas. He pulled that together. He managed to get the tanks. And from there, you know, a derelict Terran base is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Protoss can recover. Stats wins game 1. Really showing Maru why this guy is on a different level in the balance of defense and offense.
Yes, truly. Stats on point, Maru on point. I am just so happy right now. These games are out of control. These players are playing at their maximum.
Yeah, this is
fully powered stats against fully powered Maru. Like, amazing what we're seeing here tonight.
So that was a 2-base timing push coming there from Maru, and that's intended to basically batter and ramp down the defense, get in there and kill off the Terran. But there was, I'm actually not sure how many Zealots were warped into the main, but it had to be a lot because almost never does it do so much damage that it just destroys a Terran on that side of the map.
Well, when you're doing a 2-base timing push, right? You don't have anything at home. Why would you leave units at home? You're bringing so much force that you want to force them to do their warp-ins. And you saw that Stats, he took that little bit of a risk where he didn't do the warp-in, and he decided, you know what, I can hold this. Well, and honestly, he didn't hold it, really.
Yeah. I mean,
and then he kind of just barely did at the end.
Also, when you're on just 2 bases, all your workers are just in 2 spots, right? So if the Zealots, they are going to kill the SCVs in the main. Once they got to the natural, there's no third base you're mining from where you can keep producing out of the barracks as well. So really incredibly done there by Stats. Now that's, man, we're having a lot of one-of-a-kind games, but that game is not something that can be replicated, I think, at all. So I don't know what to expect here in game 2, but Stats may just squeak through in first place.
It looks like it to me, man. Like
he looked very good.
He is playing awesomely.
Very patient, too.
And I think Maru's idea was actually correct. The mid-game is generally where you want to try to hit Stats before he's completed the entire puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was not a bad choice. He almost won there. Like you said, we didn't know who was going to win until the very last moments.
Yeah.
That double Archon, 1 Zealot flank, it's like, you don't really expect that to come up from behind and kill your 2 tanks.
I almost wonder if he should have ran back down and killed off the 3rd and then gone back.
Oh, instead of going in the main? So I think his idea was if he can unpower all the gates, that's it. It's over.
Yeah, but there were too many pylons up there. There were 3 or 4 right at the top. I thought it was only 2 pylons initially powering that, but
you know what? To be perfectly honest, if I can be humble for a moment, if he was playing against me, he would have won.
Wow, Artosis. You're really putting yourself on the line this time, man.
Yeah, I know. Against many Protosses, he would win there.
Crazy, man. Stats with a 1-0 lead. This is just wild.
Oh, man.
Maru, by the way, having to really work in his TVP right now.
Totally. I mean, it's a tough group, man.
Now look at Stats.
He's 2 completely different Protosses.
He knows, like, okay, I barely got out of that one. What's going to happen this time around? I imagine Stats, again, conservative, defensive. Maru, I don't think we'll go for a 2-base timing. That's a very unique style that he did there.
No, this is going to be a bigger macro game,
That's intended to sledgehammer the Protoss on 3 bases and just end it. But Stats, again, great harass. Game 2 is ready, guys. The series of Stats and Maru continues on.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여.
Dun dun.
Ooh.
I was trying to do that Law and Order sound effect. Dun dun. Is it a what? Can you do it?
No.
Dun dun.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I kind of know what you mean, but I don't watch that show, so I'm not.
Well, I don't watch it or toast. I'm not like, oh, good, GSL's done. I'll go watch Law and Order.
Which one do you like? Because
I don't know,
like
man.
50 of them.
I don't. Yeah, there's like a million of them, man.
You love Law and Order.
I love it. I'm like, this is basically how our court system works. This is what the police are really like in America. So Maru with a proxy barracks. Again, Maru really one who knows how to navigate, or I should say how to juggle his builds pretty well. But stats with an insta scout across the map, and guess what? This Terran's gonna get detention.
Ooh.
Get him.
Well, let's see where the
let's
SCV
see if
goes.
it's a Pro Gamer SCV or an Artosis SCV. This RNG, not so bad. Oh, bad. Ow, 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 ow.
He really needs that to finish, man.
Get him.
A second, bro.
Get him.
Oh my
god.
God.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh no, it cheated. The building finished itself. I saw it. Disqualified.
Disqualified.
How does the building build itself? Huh?
Wouldn't that be crazy? Buildings just built themselves, like in the bad RTS games?
Yeah. What? No. Here's what if the building then arms and legs came out? It's like a transformer.
Oh, you mean like Warcraft 3?
Yeah. He's like, my name.
My name is the tree that makes units, but also kills creep for you.
My name is Optimus Maru.
Indiana Maru, man.
Indiana Maru, man. It's a great nickname.
Yeah.
It's so funny if that if the probes had actually killed that.
Oh, it changes the game so much.
Yeah. A lot of nail biters here today.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad actually.
These aren't even nail biters. These are nail eaters.
Oh,
They're
wow,
eating
that's
fingernails.
Gross. That's disgusting.
Nom 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 nom. Huh. I like that. That's one of the things I say to you, where you're like, "Ew, I really don't want to think about that."
That's
like, ew, gross.
That is weird, isn't it? Because you say a lot of disturbing things to me.
Yeah, I say a lot
so
of
that
dark
shouldn't
jokes.
be one of them.
Yeah,
but it is. Yeah. Wow, the Reaper's actually doing a really good job. I mean, 2 probe kills is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, that's actually quite a bit of damage. Now the barracks is going to float back home, so barracks production's a little bit hiccuped here, but a Cyclone's going to come into play. A Stargate for stats as well this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe he'll fall back into that Phoenix play. Not entirely sure. It definitely gives you a lot more intel than some of the other builds, like the build we had last game, so you would identify that it is a 2-base attack or something like that much earlier. So we have the command center building. The probe actually got really good scouting, right? You see the timing of the command center and everything, or the starport, you know, it's very worthwhile scout. You know that he's making a Cyclone. But it's Phoenixes, not Oracles. He's actually making multiple Cyclones here.
Yeah, he might try to poke with this. Sometimes you see the Cyclone as sort of a fix-all to kind of stop attacks, but there are moves you can come in here and attack him with Cyclones. And I think already thematically we've seen that Maru is actually trying to like circumvent Stats' style. He's like, how do I just put a stake in this guy's heart?
Yeah.
You know, like how do I just kill him? I don't want to have to play the game that Stats wants to play.
Yeah. Well, I think the unit set he's made is actually, it's a little bit tricky to deal with, but with Phoenixes, you shouldn't be too afraid of this, right? You can just break the lock on real quick.
Well, it depends on how many Phoenixes are made as well, Artosis.
Yeah, and it depends on the distance that you hit the lock on, right?
Yeah.
So you get that extra damage. Okay, pushes that back. Doesn't seem like he's going to attack, just making that 3rd command. A lot of high-tech units here to help him in his defense. I'm actually a little bit sad that we don't see like a mech here. Remember, there was a period where we saw Maru actually choosing to go mech when he was playing against Phoenix openers. It's really kind of an interesting little part of the metagame for a couple months, but not going to be the case this time.
So Raven's coming down now. Maybe we will actually have some kind of 2-base play here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What am I saying? There's an orbital up there. Excuse me. There just can't be 2-base play if there's 3 command centers.
Well, if he doesn't land at his 3rd, it could be. Maybe that's just
like, no.
It's just
no, I just didn't see it, to be honest. I somehow just missed
we
that.
can salvage this, okay?
Yeah.
We can salvage this. That command center is to make SCVs because they're fighting units. The boys will be pulled.
That's a boys center.
Yeah. Boy, it's a boys and girls club, you know?
Yeah. So a little bit of pokes, a little bit of harass here. We're having the Colossus tech come into play now. I don't think we're going to see much happen for a little bit. I think this is going to be another fairly conservative game. I mean, Stats is basically just keeping an eye on Maru with these Phoenixes as he continues to develop and improve.
This is generally a good way to defend.
What was
Doesn't
that?
quite get it.
Yeah.
He's trying to break the
lock.
lock.
Yeah, stop the lock. Yeah. Now he's going to try. Terran's going to try to do a little bit of scouting here with this Marine. As is to be expected, Protoss gets the third base up. Terran now scans it, confirming that.
Yeah. And it just looks like it's headed towards that longer game. This is much closer to how Stats was playing against ByuN. So now he's used a couple different styles here of openers against Maru. Maru just, look at that. He's got his double eBay going already, so that's kind of nice. Pretty well ahead of the +1 of Stats. And Stats doesn't have any real options for attacking anytime soon. Just kind of powering up, adding those gates, getting his upgrades. It looks like he's trying to like pick off a unit or two here. I don't know
yeah,
if it's
he's
gonna
trying
work.
to just see if he can't get a few kills here. And not bad. It worked.
Yeah, you get a Cyclone. Honestly, the Cyclones don't really scale in this matchup. You know,
yeah,
so
they're
kind of
like mid-game Reapers or something, where like they serve a role and then they're obsolete.
I remember because there was like a lot of Cyclone defense in an earlier meta a few years ago.
Artosis.
Yeah.
He's going to try to snipe his Colossus, and he might actually get it. Oh!
That's pretty painful.
That was a nail eater right there.
Oh, tasteless.
Now,
I hate you more than anyone.
Now that that's damaged, I mean, maybe Maru can mount an attack. Granted, the Cyclone lives, but it could be killed pretty quickly later on.
Well, he has a disable too, at least one. Oh, okay, 2 disables go down, so I mean, he's just smashing this now. I don't know that he can hold this third base, to be honest. I think it just dies.
I think it dies.
If he attacks into this, he's going to lose his army. Yeah, he just has to let it go.
Yeah, that was a great play there. And, you know, a lot of times in under the first 10 minutes, that's the kind of move that just probably wins you the game.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean he's going to necessarily kill him with his push, but I do not imagine a world where Stat is like, damn, well, I guess I'll take my third again. Try to come back. Well, if at first you don't succeed.
You know, he's going to make Disruptors, which are a good comeback unit. Maybe he can get a good hit with those. He has double Robo, so, I mean, I think it's possible. We saw how far behind Parting got and still made it a game. This is tough, though, man. Maru just applying that pressure.
Oh, great dodge there. The end is near, Artosis. Oh, good job. Shoots down the Warp Prism.
A few good volleys there from the Colossi.
Yeah, the walls are closing in right now for Stats here.
They are.
He's a struggle nerd right now, for sure. I love this. Maru, then when he realizes he can't eke out more damage, he backs up. He's going to regroup and probably come in here with a closing attack.
Now, Stats is actually sending a lot of Zealots out. He's remaking his third Nexus at the original third place and the fourth Nexus now, while just producing Disruptors. I think this is an all right play. If you leave the Zealots to counterattack when Maru moves out, you're making a hard decision for him. Oh my god, is he going to catch the tanks?
Oh, weird. What are they even doing there?
That's insane.
Oh, you say he's not going to catch him.
He was a little bit slow on that because I think he got surprised that they were even there.
That's
it was
Indiana
like, oh, maybe
Maru.
Those 2 tanks were his hat.
Yeah.
The other one wasn't, though.
No, those 2 tanks were the bag of coins that he's trying to steal and swap them with another bag of something else.
A bag of nothing?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, the Zealot counterattack. Not really doing that much. Some great building placement from Maru, making it very difficult. The Disruptor hits not going where they need, but he did make 2 Nexuses, so canceling this one Well, he's behind, right?
Yeah.
He's in a very tough spot.
No, I think he's almost dead, Ro.16. Now this is the third Nexus that's been eliminated from the game. Oh, great control.
Yeah,
wow, that
yeah.
was just perfect. Another attack is maneuvering now over here to get the fourth third in this game.
1, 2,
3,
3,
4.
You're right.
Yep.
That's the fourth third. Which
I know
should
it.
make it the 7th, but who knows?
Yeah. That's some advanced math stuff. Look, he's going to get another Nexus here. There's about to be a Nexus made right up here. Oh, maybe he'll get there before it actually starts.
Hopefully, for Stats' sake. Okay, Stats going to just clear that little bit of army. Oh.
This goes to show you why you kind of want
You need
more
army
units.
with your
Yeah.
disruptors.
Disruptors are not standalone units. They're not like DTs where they can serve their function independently.
Totally true. But he controlled that well enough. He forces Maru back for now. Maru can't just spend all day doing fancy micro against 4 to 5 disruptors. And Stats re-expands. I think that Stats still does have a little bit of a shot this game. But obviously Maru is definitely way ahead. And what I think we will see out of Maru here is very similar to how he pulled Parting apart in a similar game, where if he starts applying pressure on 2 fronts, it becomes a lot harder to split your army correctly. The
That's
gateway
right.
base, if you have like one that's more heavily gateway based, that's the one he's going to be able to beat.
Oh my God, look at his control. He's so good. Yeah, I like the dive move here. He's going to kill every single disruptor.
That's so painful, but a decent flank. And he doesn't really have enough punish there.
Yeah, that was.
He does have actually Stalkers coming in. Oh, Blink's not done. Look, it's very close, but it's not there.
Had he got this, it would have been a huge amount of supply just eliminated. 5 seconds out.
Oof. If only he had put one more chrono on that Blink, huh? that could have turned all right for him. Instead, he's taken this fight that absolutely can't be won. Has to back up.
Oh man, I gotta say, Stats is doing a pretty insane job of like staying in this game, considering how well Maru's playing. This is why this guy has possibly the best defense in all of StarCraft 2.
Oh, yeah, no, he is doing a great job. Oh, I don't like that move very much though, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know if
suiciding like 12 Zealots when you can't even keep a third up.
Damn.
Yeah,
all right, he's just gonna thrash him here. GG, Maru evens it up 1-1. Let's go to game 3.
All right. We are having some sick series tonight.
It's a good night. It's a good night for the matchup. Look at Maru staring him down. Oh,
well,
Maru.
actually, when he
he's
keeps
talking
looking,
to ByuN.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Don't change my narrative. Ro.16.
Just staring
Actually,
down.
everybody.
It's like, why is he laughing and talking to Stats? Isn't that rude? Stats is not even looking at
yeah,
him.
Stats is like, leave me alone. I'm trying to focus on the game, man.
Yeah. Why do you have to tease me all the time, Maru? You're such a bully.
We're going to get those emotional guys on the internet all worked up. I don't know how I feel about this. Leave him alone.
Someone tell me how I feel.
How do I feel about this? Eternal Empire for Game 3. This is going to decide who's the first to advance out of Group C. This is the Group of Death. And I'll tell you, man, I do not know. Maybe Maru, but Stats. You realize how many bases he lost and he was still hanging on?
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. And, like... No, I still think Stats is going to take it, man.
By the way, if Stats had killed that SCV making the proxy barracks, maybe he would have won.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? He's ahead there.
All right, the game has loaded up. Let's see who's the first player to advance. Stats versus Maru, the final match.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maru not super interested in a long game.
He came from the dirt, and from the dirt he will go. You like that?
He came from the dirt, and from the dirt he will go? But he already came from the dirt.
Yeah, so he's going to go
You're
back
just, like,
to the
restating
dirt.
it?
Dirt.
But you
dirt,
said
dirt.
from the dirt he will go.
Uh-huh.
So he's leaving the dirt twice?
Wait, yeah, he's back.
Do you have some in between where he returned to the dirt?
Artosis, we can't answer all your questions, okay?
Okay. Sorry, Tasis.
Yeah. Don't destroy the story I'm trying to weave.
You keep
Clearly,
weaving
you've never enjoyed a good poem.
unfactual stories, Tasis. I can't stand it. I'm all about the truth.
Well, I'll tell you the truth right now. That was a very unfortunate missed scout. Pros are so good at putting it just out of vision. So crazy, this proxy scouting meta in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, and
So there's 2 gas coming with this too.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a factory at home. You always go factory at home with proxy barracks. But we'll see if he goes like beyond that, right? Like, does he want to do something really heavily on one base, or you know, just go into a command center?
So the fact that this wasn't spotted, it's also a pretty daring move considering he did it last time and it was found. Maru really with the mind games.
Yeah, he is very good at that. There's no doubt. The first Reaper's out. So it looks like this probe's going to be picked off, and the SCV is going to be able to finish that. Very annoying. Not the end of the world for Protoss, but very annoying.
Yeah, this really throws a wrench in the gears of what Stats was trying to do.
Yeah. I feel like you got to get a battery and like a couple stalkers to really force that away. Oh! 2 probes dead. Pretty decent so far. Oh, 3 probes? 3 probes?
Yep.
3 probes!
Yep. Not bad to start things off. You can see the second Reaper will come up here and try to just stop the probes from mining. I think I just got the hiccups, man.
Yeah?
I'm hiccuping.
Are you too excited?
I'm too excited. I need Maru to do another really cool build and scare me out of the hiccups.
Yeah.
Wow, is this my first hiccups cast?
No. I'm sure
No?
you've had hiccups cast before.
So yeah, this is eventually going to get cleaned up over here, but it slows Protoss down quite a bit.
It's so cute watching the SCV micro around like this.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, he'll clean that up.
Oh wow, the Reaper's going to just try to run in here and get some more kills.
I like it. Ooh, the heal. All right, another Phoenix build, and he's going to get the scout off on that, which is awesome. Like, I think that this proxy did more than it needed to, for sure.
Yeah.
That was really effective at the end of the day.
It's not like Protoss is dramatically behind, but this is a pretty bad start for Stats here.
Yeah, this is not where you want to be. But yeah, like you said, you know, he's not dead. It's a 3rd command center build here for Maru, so it's going to be a heavy mid-game from him. Whereas with Stats, that gives him time to kind of recover out of everything, right? Like, he can get into his Phoenix Colossi, he can get his 3rd base. It's a very defendable map anyways, so it's, you know, it's like basically the same builds as last game.
Nice, drives that Phoenix out. And Maru's, you know, going to try to just, I think, play this out, probably in a similar fashion to what we saw in Game 2. I don't think he needs to rely on anything too pronounced in the mid-game to end it. I think he just wants to try to look for opportunities to do damage, to come in there, to win some fights, to get ahead, you know?
All right, so, I mean, the Phoenix is just kind of scouting the periphery. Stats playing very carefully. I feel like he should just put down the 3rd Nexus. I'm a little bit surprised that he's waiting this long, because he did spot the 3rd. I guess he got it reasonably. But it's like the same timing as last game. It's just, I feel like you can adjust. You know, there was a barracks over near you, so you know there's not as much production. There's a 3rd command center, so he can't attack. You know, just like skip a gateway, make the Nexus a little bit quicker. But whatever, he's fine.
And I think, you know, Maru really, I think Maru really showing why he's been so successful in the past. This is a series where he's constantly adjusted to his opponents. You know, he's shown a really wide array of different play styles, but I think he's adapting to Stats very well here. And again, I think it's not just the way he's handling the games in the mid-game, it's also the builds he's choosing. Maru is really good at these kind of poker-esque mind games.
Yeah, he is very good at that. Like, he basically did the same build twice in a row, which was proxy barracks, and both times it was quite effective.
Yeah. So we're going to have the third taken here eventually.
Yeah, and I like him mixing it up like that against stats specifically too. Like against someone like Parting that isn't as good defensively early game, you can do things like Hellions and Mine Drops and kind of like tax their multitasking. Whereas what he's doing here with Proxy Barracks into Reaper, just mathematically, the Reaper is out before you have any units as Protoss. So it's like it doesn't really, like, you can get only so good at pulling your probe away and chasing it with a Zealot, you know? It's like there you can get something done with that, which is much better than, you know, trying to harass with the other units he uses against Parting and then just having them killed. Because at that point, Stats actually has something to work with.
Yeah, exactly. So Terran's going to move out as he's taking the third here. This will be synced up with Stim finishing, but I don't know how much damage this can actually do. He does have a Raven with the army here.
Yeah, it's a bit scary, but don't forget last game, Stats got caught with a with his Colossus kind of out in the middle. You do want to meet this army, like you were talking about before, to bait stuff out, to bait out disables if possible, or just whittle it down a little bit. Ooh, he's walking back. Oh, the two Eye Templars. This is something that he's done in the past, where you go for a feedback.
Yeah, this is really smart.
Watch this, watch this. He's going to bring this right up. See how they're on the side? Look, they were outside of where the scan came. Can he get it? Can he get it?
He's going to get it. I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Great job.
Make an Archon. Oh, well, no Archon, but...
that diffuses the push pretty well, but
yeah.
Let's see. Maru still might go for it. 1-1's done. Combat Shield's about to finish. Tank sieging up. He's going to try to inch in here. He wants to be in range of the Nexus. But again, no disables on those Colossi.
Yeah, and his charge is about to finish, which is a good counter to this army. All right, here we go. An Archon and all these charge lots. Yeah, he is going to clear this easily.
Oh my God. Stats is doing it.
Really nicely done.
Just
very
incredible.
Nicely done. I am loving the way that he approached this. He's one of the only players that I've ever seen, like I've seen him do that multiple times, where he actually rushes up to High Templar to feed back the Raven. I've seen him do it with a Prism before. Here it was just like, the placement of them was magnificent because he knew where Maru would scan, and they were just outside of that.
Yeah, that was such a good setup.
It was so nice.
And now there's an actual opportunity for him to come in here and maybe smash this third and maybe just knock Maru into the final best of three.
Super awesome.
So cool.
Yeah, this army is so scary right now. There's some good building placement here with the depots to try to slow him.
Look at the one tank here.
Yeah.
It's far out enough. You can't really do much with it.
Oh, I don't know.
He's actually going to try to make a wall here. No, this should be just too much.
He's bringing down his SCVs to try to tank. He does have a lot of units. The Guardian Shield's just doing amazingly.
Yeah, I think there's actually too much Terran here. I think he's going to get this. Is he going to lose this fight?
I think that this was worth for Stats, even if Maru holds.
Okay.
Like, it kind of sucks to lose the two Colossi. Oh my God, he gets away with one. Yeah, I think that
pretty
was
sick. Well, killing 25 workers is fine. I thought he was
killed
going
a chunk of his army.
Yeah, I thought he was going to actually just like take the game there, but this is fine. He can go back, he can rebuild, he can continue to attack up.
Honestly, it was a good hold by Maru, and he has, considering how many SCVs had to die there, he's actually, I mean, his SCV count is not that bad, right? He finished that with like 46 SCVs, which is, it's like, okay. So, you know, some of these top Terrans are really impressive, like Innovation, Maru, and TY specifically, where they'll lose a bunch of SCVs, and you look at the SCV count, and you'll be like, damn, man, you're very good at producing SCVs. That is quite, you know, quite impressive.
Maru trying to do some damage over here. I don't think this is going to work. But again, you know, Stats has to be careful. He's taken a lead. He just has to get the closer here. But Maru is ready to punch back. Now, he did see that. Let's not forget what Stats' Zealot harass has done in the past. It's won him games. So maybe there'll be an overextension here by Maru. But it's going to be Stats need to win on both fronts here. Great play. He's going to now go into the main right on top of production. Ooh, got to be careful. Don't want to lose that Warp Prism. Oh, man. I think he should actually ditch this Nexus. That's a pretty...
Should he?
That's a pretty insane arc that he has there.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit slow on the Warpins here. Only 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he does have to ditch it.
Man.
Yeah.
His Warpins are sort of staggered here. You kind of want them all to warp in at the same time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just Zealots being picked off one by one.
Yeah, and it looks like Maru does end up holding that. Loses some SCVs, but still, you know, he's at 50. He can still mine. He's killed a Nexus. He's taken 12 o'clock. So still some good things happening here for Maru. But stats is all right? He's got, I think he has 3-4 disruptors right now with his army. So it's still pretty scary. DT Blink on the way. A couple more Archons.
I'm actually worried this push might kill Stats here.
Do you think so? I don't think it's going to kill him.
You know, the thing is, I hope not. But I would tell you something, man. Maru is just, he's so strong sometimes in his control.
He actually does have 2 ghosts, and this is a very Archon-heavy army.
True.
So maybe. Because he's kind of baiting him in so he can try to throw out disruptors.
Really good tactics being used over here.
Yeah, both sides. Ooh, he's really trying to get those Archons at the EMP'd. You can just see that dance over and over. With 4 disruptors, as long as you're very careful with your timing throwing them out, it's hard for Terran to actually close on that army. Whoa. Stats is serious about Zealot Warpins today. That is like, that's a business of Zealots.
A business of Zealots?
Yeah, it's like a group of ferrets is called a business. And that's a business of Zealots right there. They are there to do some work.
Thing is, Stats is still, you know, growing out right now. Again, Stats did lose that base. I thought he was actually about to end the game in that big fight earlier. Okay, here we go. If he can intercept this before siege tanks are up, oh, this is when you have a problem. When the siege tanks start to get targeted.
And those siege tanks were his hat, though, once again.
Oh, great siege there. Really good play by Maru. Yeah, that was really well handled.
That was such a quick setup there.
That was really nicely done.
Really nice.
I thought he was going to end up losing that army, but no, he handled it so well.
Dude, this is awesome. These two playing each other?
We don't deserve this.
Seriously.
Too good. Okay, hold on. Stats is going to go in. Does Maru actually have enough?
No.
Wow. He is just crushing this. Great play there. I imagine another disruptor shot will force this to lift. But there's another attack going across the map.
That attack!
I don't see anything to defend that base over there. Now he's going to try to right-click down the CC.
Yeah, the turret actually blocked the Zealots from fully connecting right away. Is he going to get it?
No.
Actually, I think he is just going to get it.
Oh,
which is really important.
You're right. You're right. He actually does kill it. That's huge.
Just gets it.
You know what? It's Stats on 3 bases and Maru on 3 bases.
Stats retaking 2 Nexuses right now down at the 6 o'clock area.
Yeah, right now neither player can really catch a break here. These Zealots going to continue to spill through. Does Stats try to pounce now on the 3rd base? Positionally, Maru's on his back foot here. Gosh, it's just Archons though, right? Where are the disruptors?
Yeah, he is making some. No, he has some. He has some. Yeah. Okay, so 5 with his army, making 2 at a time right now. Maru really needs to secure a 4th, I think. Even though right this second it's like pretty close overall, just the fact that Stats has 2 Nexuses on the way, and look at this roaming army he has.
Yeah.
Are you going to kill another Nexus as Maru? Like, you already killed the Nexus that was kind of easy to kill, and he just skipped taking that again, right?
Yeah.
He took the 2 at 6. So those are like, he can roam around that area, and it's just going to be very hard to kill. You see Maru's checking this area again. No, nothing there. Well, you kill the assimilars, whatever, who cares? Maybe he can like act like he's going to go into the natural, but the odds of him really going up there not so high.
Okay, but Maru's pretty good at having these moments where half his army's one place, the other half is somewhere else.
Yeah. It's called Maru tasking.
Oh, Artosis. We have so much more to give now. I love the Zealots, the slow drip of Zealots coming through here. He's just causing a lot of SCVs to get killed off here. Stats, though, he's going to continue to chase through here. Gosh, Stats is really good at just playing the defense, man. And every time he defends well enough, then he can counter punch on the other side of the map. So this is, I think, possibly the big dramatic moment of this game, is Maru actually has to hold this. Oh, and DT is just being sent here.
I love it. DT's into multiple locations. Now this is going to really hurt Maru's multitasking.
Oh my
gosh.
How
can he deal with all of this
He might not even catch this right away. Oh, he does.
Yeah, well, he's pretty busy right now. Look at that. Actually kills the turret even.
Oh, wow. Chasing this army down. EMPs come down. Archon scrambling to try to get into the front over here. Vikings taking some extra damage here, too.
Oh, great EMPs do go down. is not enough right there. Stats with an overwhelming army pushing him to the edge of the map.
Two Archons get picked off with ease here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Some of this does escape, but oh wow, look at that. So many DTs over here.
He's making some pretty expensive armies to do this with, but he's about to have 3-3. Some damn good upgrades there for stats.
So I think, is the turret not
He's
there?
going to kill that. He's going to kill that.
Yeah, he's just going to right-click on that.
Well, actually, we'll see how quick Maru is, though.
Is
turret going to finish?
Yeah, I don't think
the turret's way too late. It's like he just got no shots.
Oh my god, that may be it.
Huge moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only... Maru needs that base. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see he had this one down here. But yeah, man, I mean, Stats is getting another base Artosis in the bottom right. Oh my god.
Oh, kind of an interesting offensive blink right there. Trapping a few of the Marauders over on the side.
He's going to blink on top of these tanks.
Oh, I love it.
Great play here. Tanks are done, and now it's just going to be an all-out brawl down here at the bottom.
Ooh, but actually Maru's starting to push back. He's flanking with some Marauders here as well. Oh my god, look at these splits right here from Maru. Oh, well, that was a good disruptor hit, but he basically dodged everything else.
I love how he's faking the disruptor shot in one place, then he veers to the right or the left to hit somewhere else. Now Maru is winning that fight, but these DTs are far from finished with doing damage over here to Maru on his side of the map.
Oh, Maru, though, with some very quick micro right there, does put down a scan, but doesn't really have enough units to even fight the DTs when they're detected.
Yeah, the turret goes down. I think the DTs are going to spread out in every different direction.
Oh man, just
Maru
so many DTs.
Oh, he blinks into the main. Maru right now is hanging on by a thread, and I think we are close to the end here. I think Stats is going to do it. The CC is going to go down here too.
Just some beautiful play coming out of Stats.
Oh my god.
Maru, though, I mean, he's still microing. He has a reasonable amount of army still.
Look,
but
man,
look, yeah, Stats with the 6 o'clock
Stats
bases.
is almost maxed out, dude.
Oh my god.
If this is any other player, we'd say he's dead.
But it's like,
I think that we have to say it now. Maru is dead. There's no way to recover from this.
He has to kill the army super dead.
Okay, we have Zealots spanning out in every which way. So much damage being dealt here. Oh!
Maru's micro here absolutely out of control, dodging almost every disruptor shot, kiting against the Zealots, diving on the Stalkers.
Stats losing
doing everything
some disruptors
he can,
here.
but it is not enough. GG.
Wow, what an upset. How crazy is that? Stats gets out of the group first.
Hell yeah, man. Stats is in sick shape. He was in the finals last season. People are underestimating because Rogue slapped him. But you know what? Again, Rogue was going to kill anybody who came up to the finals last season. Stats is in great shape. He's in peak form. Maru's in peak form. This is a great season of GSL.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe how good that that series was. Oh my god. And he was actually, Stats was in the hospital earlier this week. He was ill, no coronavirus, but still very sick. Under the weather, comes back, recovers, and gets out first. We're going to have that interview now. Andy, go ahead.
Okay, the first player moving out of Group C is Stats. Congratulations. Thank you. And you were very sick recently, and you were not in a good condition, but you managed to get out as the first place. How do you feel? Well, first of all, yes, I was very sick, so I couldn't practice much. So honestly, I didn't think I would make it out. But my mindset was to try my best even if I lost. But I'm glad I won. So how do you feel now? Oh, I've gotten a lot better. And you know, coming to the venue today, I think I ate something wrong. You know, my stomach's hurting. So right now I feel quite powerless. But despite that, the Shield of Ire was clearly different. And you know, Maru was coming at you with aggressive attacks, but you managed to fend it off. And it feels like you were really poised in those games. In the second game, you know, I lost to Maru. I kind of finished analyzing how Maru comes with the attacks. So in the third game, I try to adapt to how he plays with his offensiveness. So I think that's why I was able to win. That's right. You were able to fend off the attacks, and at times we were able to use the DTs and the Zealots to go for the attacks. And in the match against ByuN, you came out with a 2-0 victory. And you were able to catch off the Raven at the right moment. So what were you mostly cautious about when playing against ByuN?
그때 타이밍 때 찌르는 타이밍 때 굉장히 컨트롤이라든지 약간 물량이라든지 진짜 되게 강력한 선수여가지고.
When ByuN was coming with the attacks, you know, he was very formidable. He had a lot of army. He had good micro. So if I didn't catch up the Raven, I don't know how that game would have turned out to be. And Stats, I hope you recover. And your next opponent will be the second place of Group D. And Group D is very terrifying this season. So who do you want to play against? Well, they are all very strong players for sure. So I don't have a preference.
좀 레더에서 잘하는 제가 생각하는 괴물인 선수 2명이 D조에 지금 있거든요.
And you know, in the ladder recently, there are two monsters who are in Group D. There's Innovation, there's Dark, and Trap. But even the other two are so strong. Rogue is good, Innovation's good.
그냥 8강 가면은
So if I go to round of 8, it's gonna be a very hard match. But you said that Dark and Trap are the stronger ones in the Group D. So despite your bad condition, you managed to go out as first place. Anything you want to say before you go? So I do have some time left until the round of 8 match. So in that time, I'm going to have to make thorough preparation, and I'll try to show a better performance in the round of 8. And you know, being sick, you know, I know that being healthy is the most important thing in life. So I hope you guys at home stay healthy as well. And we hope you stay healthy as well, Seth.
So cool, man. Thank you, Andy. Stats gets out first. What a great plot twist for this group.
I love it. He's in great shape. Cool. It's well-deserved. I mean, top-tier Stats is the best Protoss in the world.
I don't know what's going to happen with Parting versus ByuN. I think Parting looks a little bit stronger. Maybe ByuN didn't quite get warmed up here, but
I think ByuN's style, though, matches much better against Parting than it does against Stats. So I think that ByuN does have a shot, but I do think Parting's a bit stronger right now.
We have a short break. When we come back, the losers match do not go away.